are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to Go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
All right, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. You're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Hey, it's the Zach Nichols Podcast.
And you're watching the Knockem Dead Comedy Show with Tony Walker.
Let's go.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker.
Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you? Tony Walker. Thank you so much, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Walker. Our favorite. We love you.
Knockem Dead. we are so freaking proud of you. It's never too late to go back to college, turn your life around. It's been a rough few years. We know this is going to be the move that you need to change your life.
Yeah, Mikey, I'm really excited for you, pal. This is good. New beginnings, baby. Don't fuck it
Thank you
up.
very much. All right, here it is. Email just came in.
Let's see. Let's go.
I did not get in.
You didn't get in. It's fucking Nassau Community College. What the hell's your goddamn problem?
Holy shit, are you fucking stupid?
What a stupid bum. You're going to be in your mother's
God.
basement for the rest of your life. What a fucking loser.
Fucking idiot.
Piece of shit.
Idiot. Stupid as you look.
Dude, we are so...
So we're here in Astoria, Queens with Tony, getting ready to shoot. We're a little disappointed. We came all this way for the prostitutes. And it got shut down. The prostitute ring got shut down. We're kind of disappointed.
Did you see where we just did a shoot? We just did a shoot a few miles from here. There was a Greek church across the street, and then across the street from that was another one of these places. It's like practically right next to the church. So you get everything here in the story.
It's just live? What is this?
No, it's just recorded. I'll put it on Instagram later.
Oh, okay. It's kind of weird, like, being in Astoria with Tony Walker. It feels creepy.
It feels weird being anywhere with Greg Critico.
It's just a creepy situation. Thank God Don's here. I feel comfortable. He's like the buffer, you know what I mean?
And thank God Greg is moving to Greece, because he's fucking killing us.
Yeah, I just can't stand him. I want to rip his leg off and beat him with it.
Astoria's throwing a whole big party once he moves here. It's gonna once he moves out of here.
Hi, everybody. Whoops. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We are coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, New York. Thanks for joining us today. Hope everybody's well. Please, I believe you're watching on YouTube. A couple of things. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow the Facebook page for Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Knockem Day Comedy Podcast page. Knockem Day Comedy page. And while you're watching, please, share the link on all your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. And please comment throughout the show. Share the show. Subscribe, follow, and comment throughout the show. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support. And we hope everybody's well today. Thanks for joining us. All right. Got some announcements. Got some stuff to talk about. Okay. So I guess I'll get into this right away. Not a lot of people are watching this morning. Not a lot of comments are coming in. It's kind of like a weird day already. So we were scheduled today to have. So it's a weird day. We were supposed to have a musical guest with Frank. The musical guest canceled a few days ago. Frank canceled, and then so then I was kind of scrambling, trying to find a guest. I was trying to stick with music, musicians, because, we've been doing music Thursdays for several months now. And I wasn't having any luck. So I was like, screw it. I'll go with, the usual stuff and bring in comedians and other people. So tomorrow night in the Giggle Room here at Governor's is a bunch of great comedians. They're called the Bad Moms of Comedy. The Bad Moms of Comedy, and they're delightful. They're fun. So I reached out to them and said, hey, why don't you guys come in and, promote your show, and we'll hang out and have some laughs. And they were all excited. They said yes. So then I was all excited because they said yes. And I've been telling you guys that the Bad Moms of Comedy are coming in. So they're great comedians. They're touring all over the country. And, I'm here, Fart Face, says Romeo. Well, good. Thanks for joining us, Fart Face. The Bad Moms of Comedy, they're traveling all over the place. And they told me that they were flying in from, I think it was Atlanta. I think they're based out of Chicago, but they were in Atlanta doing some shows. And they were flying in, and they said they were landing, I think it was around 9 or 9:30 this morning. And they wanted to go to where they're staying, unload, and maybe, freshen up. And then they were going to come here. And I said, okay. If you guys are going to do all that rushing around for me, I said, I will buy you lunch or breakfast. I'll buy you all I think there were 3. There's 4 of them. I think 3 of them were coming in. I said, I will buy the 3 of you lunch or breakfast, whatever you want from the deli next door. Doesn't look like much over there, but the food is fantastic. So they said that would be great. They said, can you send a menu? So I did. I found their menu online. I sent it over. Then 6 o'clock this morning, I take that back. And then last night, I hear from them. Turns out they were wrong. Their flight wasn't landing at like 9:30. It was landing at 10:30 or 11. They're like, all right, we're just going to land. We're going to come straight here. I'm like, oh, you guys are the best. I'm like, these are really cool people that they're going to make such effort to get here. So and then they said, we don't know what time we will make it. It could be as late as noon. I'm like, all right, that kind of sucks, but we'll still do it. And then this morning at 6 o'clock, I get the text. Hey, our flight out of Atlanta has been canceled. I mean, I don't know, wherever you guys are. Here in New York, it's been raining since last night. It's raining right now. And I think it's supposed to rain throughout the day. I think the next few days is supposed to be mostly rain here in our neck of the woods. So, so she said that their flight out of Atlanta to come here to New York was canceled. They didn't know when they were going to make it in. So they were, good morning, Mickey. So they were like, it doesn't look good for us. And I said, okay. I said, yeah, it doesn't sound good at all. And, and I think they felt kind of bad. And then I felt bad that they felt bad. So I took the pressure off and I said, don't worry. We'll just forget it. Thanks so much for trying to make the effort. Can you play kazoo for us, says Scott. If I had a kazoo here, I would play it. Scott, you want to bring me one? You can come and hang out with me and bring one for you, too, and we'll play some duets together. I have the guitar, but I don't know how to play it. I don't play guitar. I don't play anything except myself. So, so the Bad Moms of Comedy, unfortunately, have had to cancel today. So now here's my question for you guys. Tomorrow on the show, we have, I think Rosie is coming in. As you guys know, I told you guys the other day, Rosie's had one hell of a week. But as far as I know, she's coming in, which no doubt she's going to have a lot to talk about. Also coming in is Scott Baker. Very funny guy, improv genius, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Now, so the two of them will be here, and that's a full show in itself. I think just one of them with me is a full show. So I think it's going to be a great show. But now, the Bad Moms of Comedy, their show is tomorrow night in the Giggle Room. They're offering to come in tomorrow. So here's my thoughts. Rosie and Scott, like I said, I could do a full show with just one of them. So they're going to be here. So now if I add the Bad Moms of Comedy, that's a full room, and that's a lot. So if I decided to do this a 2-hour show tomorrow, would you guys stick around? Would you guys want to see that? Would you guys be okay with that? Because I'm thinking of letting the Bad Moms of Comedy come in, and then we'll just go an extra half hour. So, that's at least a half hour each guest. Bad Moms Comedy gets a half hour. Scott Baker, Rosie, they all get at least a half hour of time. And I'm sure, we'll be joking around and talking to each other throughout. But at least everybody will have a good chunk of time to promote whatever they're promoting, talk about whatever they want to talk about, and, do their thing. So you guys tell me in the comments. Again, it doesn't seem like we have a lot of people watching today, and the comments are a little slow. But I talked to Rosie. She said she was coming in, says Mickey. Okay, thanks, Mickey. So you guys tell me if you think we should do an extra half hour tomorrow. Good morning, Fartface.
I'm with you, brother. You have a 2-hour show, 3-hour show. I'm with you, pal.
Well, thank you.
I'll stick with you like fucking glue.
Wow, that's kind of gay.
No, well, you however you determine it, decipher it, but that's fine.
You have nothing going on tomorrow? You're able to watch an extra half hour of this craziness?
Listen, stop the bullshit. My whole entire life, from 11 to 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1:15 is dedicated to Anthony Walker and friends.
Well, and that would be you would be one of those friends.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And I just voted you the best podcast on Long Island. I've watched most of the podcasts, and you are numero uno. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm just saying to you, all right, of all the podcasts, they're all good, but you win the Academy Award.
Well, thank you very much, pal. I really do appreciate that.
All right. Well, it's truer words were never spoken, and I'm sure your listeners will agree with me.
Whether they do or not, I still appreciate their support, because whether they agree or not, they still, watch regularly and support. So it's great.
Okay. And don't chastise me. I was watching the credits. I was watching everything. I was just indisposed, so I didn't type in right away. But I watch you from the beginning of the show. I love to watch the credits, especially when I'm on them. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, now comments are starting. All right, what do we got here? Ann is watching. Hello, Ann. Jeff Skelsey is watching. Hello, Jeff. Jeff, stick around. I'm going to show some pictures that you're in a second. Mickey, I would stay with you 24 hours, Tony. Thank you, Mickey. Extra hour. Yes, I'm down with that. Yes. Well, I said an extra half hour, but I have a feeling if I get all these guys in here tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty crazy show in a good way. So maybe we will end up going even longer. Who knows? I agree, John. Tony's show makes my day. And that's very nice. Thank you very much. Yes, he is, John. I love you, Tony. Mickey, we love you too. Thank you, pal. Skelsey, it's an honor just to be nominated. Yeah, John, I meant to ask you that while you're on the phone. You said you nominated or voted for me? Where? With what? With who? If I do get nominated somewhere, yeah, like Jeff said, just a thrill to be nominated. Just a thrill to be kind of know that it's out there and people are seeing it. Because sometimes I wonder. Plus, trying to make money. Tony show makes my day, says Ann. Thank you. Scott says, maybe Rosie can take a bye week like football. No, I would never ask her to do that. I mean, if she needed the day off based on the week she's had, of course. But I'm not going to say to her, take a bye week. Now, actually, especially with what she's got going on this week, she might need to come in here tomorrow and kind of unleash a little bit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you guys, if you watch regularly, you know Rosie when she's in here on Fridays. We talk often. Her family owns a bridal boutique. You get wedding dresses and whatnot. And this past Sunday they had a fire. So it doesn't sound like that there were some damages, but it sounds like it's really not that bad. Main thing is nobody was hurt. That's the main thing. But I'm sure when you deal with a fire and there were some damages, I'm sure your week is just nuts. Could always be worse, granted, but her week has been nuts. So, and then I saw something. She posted something. I have not talked to her since Monday. I think it was Monday. But I would swear she posted something, too, about having jury duty. So, yeah, so who knows? We'll see. We'll catch up with Rosie tomorrow. Jeff missed what tomorrow is about. Okay. So, all right, I'll do it again. So, I was supposed to have the Bad Moms of Comedy in here today. They're playing the Giggle Room tomorrow night. They were coming in from Atlanta. Their flight was canceled this morning, so they're scrambling. They don't know. Last I heard from them, they didn't have another flight booked yet, so they didn't know when they were going to make it in here. They were even considering taking separate flights just so they can all get here. So they're not coming in today. But they offered to come in tomorrow. But I already have Rosie and Scott Baker is the guest with me and Rosie tomorrow. So I was asking you guys what your thoughts are if we went an extra half hour tomorrow, so that if I brought in the Bad Moms of Comedy, Scott Baker, Rosie Fiumara, I just feel I need at least an extra half hour to make sure each guest has quality time. So that was the question that I asked everybody, and and so far between comments and phone calls, it seems like everybody is supporting the idea. So I will reach out to the Bad Moms of Comedy and let them know that they can come here if they want, and if they do, we'll go the extra half hour. Okay. Damn airline, says Jeff. Yeah, Jeff, can't you make a phone call? Can't you just make a call and say, oh, hey, you know who this is? Get those girls up here. Actually, Jeff, I've been meaning to reach out to you, and we'll do this. I was going to reach out to you, but we'll do this on the air. Where's my brother today? Yeah, he canceled. He canceled too. So the Bad Moms of Comedy. So yeah, we had a musical guest planned. That musical guest canceled. Then Frank canceled. And then I got the Bad Moms of Comedy, and they had to cancel because of their flight. So, Jeff, I don't know if you watched. I appreciate you guys watching all the shows that are here, especially this one. But I appreciate you guys watching all the shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. So, Jeff, did you happen to watch Hershey and the Keegs this past Tuesday? They, I think it was towards the end of the show where they were talking about you. So go back and watch. But I'll tell you what was going on. So, Mike Keegan was talking about the show he did last Thursday here in the Giggle Room. It was a show with him and our buddy Tyler Noble, Chuck Fox, Richie Byrne was the headliner. And Mike was saying that if I knew that a friend of mine was coming to the show who had something different going on, that I should have given him a heads up. And it turns out Mike did get a heads up from Richie Byrne. Richie Byrne went to Mike and said, hey, that friend of Tony's, his hands are all messed up. And Keegan was like, what do you mean? And then he shook hands with you, Jeff, when you guys met, shook hands, and Keegan was like, oh, this guy doesn't have full fingers. So they were kind of telling me I should have given them the heads up, that I should have warned them that you were going to be, a friend of mine with short fingers was going to be there. And Jeff, I know that you take it, and I know you're a good guy and you'll take it in stride, but they were making jokes. So the reason I bring it up is because I think we should prepare a little bit, and I think you should be ready to, go back at them on our show this Monday. That's what I think. Because I know you're better than them. They're very low-class human beings. They're really kind of disgusting. So, you being the classy guy that you are, I'm sure you can bury them. Especially Keegan. Keegan was really the one. It was, Hirschman a little bit, but it was mostly Keegan. So, you have some really good shows, Tony. Thank you, Ann. So Jeff, be prepared. If we have to talk, my weekend is kind of light because this week has been crazy busy for me. So I'm looking forward to a light weekend. So maybe sometime this weekend we can discuss and plan. Figure out how we're going to take them down. Damn it. I watched the show. In my opinion, his comments were very distasteful, says Romeo. Yeah, but they were doing it funny. They meant it from a good place. They were just horsing around, and I knew Jeff would be a good sport. Truth be told, they did come to me just before the show and said, "Hey, do you mind if we talk about Jeff and his fingers?" Right? And they even said, "Hey, he didn't lose them in like some tragic incident, right?" And I said, "No, he was just born that way." They said, "Well, can we talk about it?" I said, "Yeah, don't go crazy." I said, "But yeah, you can if it's a little lighthearted." And I felt it was a little distasteful, maybe, but that's my humor. I think my humor is a little distasteful to most. I knew that Jeff would be okay as long as they didn't go too crazy. It's not like they spent 20, 30, 60 minutes going off and this guy is a freak. It was nothing like that. So I kind of knew Jeff would be okay. I think they were just jealous of the bigger ribbed one. Yeah. I actually did mention that to them after the show off the air. Yeah. So Jeff, let's figure out a way to go get these guys. And one of the reasons I was so busy this week So yeah, I got a lot going on. So tonight I have a custom murder mystery, which means I had to write a show specifically for this private event that Knockem Dead Comedy is doing tonight. So I've been spending a lot of time on that. Also, in Knockem Dead Comedy, we had some casting issues that I needed to deal with. Romeo, you'll love this. Our pal who co-hosts on Wednesday, he's supposed to do the show in Freehold, New Jersey with us on April 26th, and he backed out yesterday. So on he was like, "Oh, I'm giving you time. You got time." I was like, "No, the show is 3 weeks away. That is not a lot of time. I mean, trust me. Yes, it can be worse. And I've had to replace people on 1 day notice, but this is still, 3 weeks notice. Yeah, that's really not a lot of time. You got to find somebody. They only have 3 weeks in to learn the script. If it's somebody who's never worked with us before, then there's a lot of work to do. Plus, this show is in Freehold, New Jersey, which is a couple hours away. So I had that to deal with this week. Tuesday night, I was in here for Joey Petroni's show, and then Hershey and the Keegs. Been doing Peter's show. So on Monday, the filming continued. Comic Sans is the name of the movie that Don Sill wrote, directed, and starred in. I helped a little bit with some of the script. I mean, I'm talking maybe 5%. Like, I did very little, but I did a little bit. My main job was co-producing the movie with Don. Had a good role in it. And the movie came out almost 3 years ago and got a great response, and we loved it. So we've decided to make another one. We've decided to make it a short film series. And I think right now we're doing 6. So we're working on number 2. And this past Monday night was the second day of filming. We filmed right here at Governor's. We worked for about 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours. We got out of here around midnight that night. So I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you some pictures from Monday night. But before I do that, all right, hang on. Let me read comments. Scott, you should have warned Jeff of Mike Keegan. Yeah, true. You're absolutely right. It should have been the other way around. That's a great comeback, Scott. If I was you, Tony, I would ask Jeffrey first. Yeah, you're right. I should have just reached out. Well, I mean, they asked me. You're right, Mickey. I did have time to reach out. I could have taken a minute out to reach out to Jeff. You're absolutely right, Mickey. What a pussy Mike is, he says. He was messing around. John Rusciello, what was his reason for backing out? He said his cousin's daughter, was it, is getting married and he forgot about it. I mean, he's been slated to do this show with us for probably at least a month. I think it's been longer. But yeah, he said he has a wedding to go to that he forgot about. He not good. Look like Tony is John. What? Mickey, I have no idea what that's supposed to say. Okay, so I'm going to show you some pictures from our filming the other night. But first, I'm going to show you a video from the filming the other night. And, it's self-explanatory. I'll just play it for you. I'm just going to come right out first and just say, again, that Blythe is the best. We're filming a scene. Blythe likes beards, but has given Jeff permission to shave the beard for the scene, which just enhances my chances with Blythe because I still have my beard.
Still have the beard. She likes beards.
So I'll be.
Off the razors go. But big difference between you and I, Big T. I don't need a little blue pill.
Oh, wow.
He's not kidding. He knows.
And he dropped the mic and everything. Right?
So, where are you going to do this? In the bathroom?
Well, I got to be able to see where I'm cutting. It's like, hold on.
Hold on here.
I'm actually sacrificing a beard that I've been growing for a year now, so I can continue my role in Comic Sans as a gay bartender.
Well, we
the
really
sacrifices
appreciate it.
you make for entertainment. Okay, here we go.
There it goes. Look at it. The old Bosie's coming back. Look at this. What's your character's name in this?
I don't know, Queer Eye? I don't... What was my character's name?
His name is Jeff.
Is Jeff.
I was
That's
very
right.
creative with the...
I noticed that.
Okay.
Well, I don't even know how to shave because I haven't bothered shaving this in so long. But, yeah, no, so it's Jeff the bartender. Apparently, from what Carrie Carava said, I needed no teachings on how to be gay.
It's not method acting?
No, it's not.
And you got the permission from your girlfriend, right?
Yes, I did. I got the permission to take it all off.
Because it's a big deal, because you're changing your whole appearance now.
Mm-hmm.
So
How's that look?
Yeah, look at you. You're starting to look like the character again.
What is this thing that goes on? I don't know what this is. It's like Monte Cristo. God, I actually look like a gay porn actor.
That's why you're a bartender.
Exactly. Oh my God.
And I'm a bouncer.
Bounce me, baby. Bounce me.
Bouncers don't have to shave, man.
That's right. You would never have shaved your beard off for this part, would you?
Oh my God. I haven't seen my face in so long.
Are you happy?
I'm weirded out. Because now I'm about like, oh, Jesus Christ, I haven't seen my face in so long.
What's weird is that I haven't seen you that often in the last couple months or whatever. So this is what you always look like to me. So to me, you look normal again.
Ow!
Like if I ever shaved my beard, you guys wouldn't even recognize me.
No, we wouldn't.
What's funny is that you wanted to grow your beard the same length as mine. It takes about 5 years.
Yeah, that's
5 years.
Okay, let's see. So how long is that thing? Yeah, that's impressive, dude. That goes down to almost your chest, center of the chest.
Hang on. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, damn.
Wow.
Damn, that's impressive. Is that what you were going for, Bosie?
No, I was going for as close as I could look like, I don't know, a hobo. That or do diabetes commercials.
Well, look at you now, man. Look at you.
Oh my God. Wow, this
On
is...
those cold, windy nights in the middle of winter, this is my scarf.
There you go. It keeps your neck warm.
Keeps my neck warm.
And now Bosie is back to Bosie. Look at him. Holy shit.
Oh my God, I am ugly. And queer. The things you do for entertainment.
You're the man.
Nice job, man.
Thank
Way
you,
to go. You took one for the team.
I did. Deep.
Jeff Bosie committed to his craft, committed to his art, shaving off his beard so he can he can reprise his role in Don Sill's Comic Sans. So so we're filming, and it was a lot of fun to film. It was just a Chip and Dale movie. Anything with Bosie is a Chip and Dale movie. It was a lot of fun filming. It was really fun because we had a few different Gov's Comedy Club podcasts people here. You had me from Knockem Dead. You had Jeff Skelsey from Knockem Dead, Joey Petroni from Good Times Bad Times, Don Sill from Donversations, and of course Zach was here because he's the assistant director. Zach from Let Them Cook, a superhero podcast, and his co-host James was hanging around as well. And of course Bosie. Bosie's a part of all these shows. So there we go. So there's Skelsey and Joey Petroni hanging out. There's Don, Zach, and James in between scenes. Zach working hard as ever. Zach, I'll tell you, Zach makes me proud, man. He works hard as an assistant director, and it's very exciting. The word is starting to get out a little bit. People are starting to he's starting to get calls on a semi-regular basis for people looking for an assistant director. So very excited. He does a great job. So there's Bosie and James and Jeff and Don, and that's Mezzy Sarah is her name. I think she's the current co-host of Benny Rizzuto's show over there at Strong Island. But Mezzi, she might come in sometime next week to join us. She's a lot of fun, funny comedian. Just a cool person, and a very talented woman. All right, what's next here? Just another scene that they were filming. They're just some behind the scenes shots. The guy with his back to us in that photo with the gray jacket, that was our sound guy. We talking to Don, going over some stuff. We actually didn't even have a sound guy. The sound guy we had, turns out he couldn't make it. And Greg Halverson, who watches the show, has been in here a few times. He's a part of Knockem Dead Comedy. Because I was going crazy trying to find a replacement, trying to find another sound guy. Couldn't find one, so I went to Facebook. And I just posted, anybody know a sound guy who's got equipment that knows how to work on films? And Greg Halverson recommended, forgive me, I don't remember his last name, but the guy's name is Vern. And Monday morning, Vern said he would come in. So he saved our asses. He was great. Let's see. So there's a shaven Bosie with Joey Petroni getting ready to film their scene. Jeff, James, Mezzi, and Bosie hanging out. Yeah, Jeff and James were extras in the scene that was being filmed. We had a lot of fun. It was really cool to see a lot of guys from Gov's Comedy Club podcast, in the scene together, coming together. We really did have a fun night. It was a lot of laughs. Everybody did tremendous work in the scene. This picture is Zach in the middle there with his back to us. His name is Steven. He was a production assistant. And then the guy with the glasses, that's Josh. He was the cameraman and very talented guy. His father, too, works in film. Very talented guys. Okay, so this picture, it's a whole big wide shot. So let's see. So we'll move it this way. There's Bosie grabbing his nips. And then, boom. And it was a lot of fun. Once Bosie and Joey Petroni put their vests on and their ties on, it kind of like, for me and Don, we were saying it kind of felt like official, like we were officially making the second installment. It was nice to have them back. Their chemistry is as solid as ever, and we have high hopes for this second installment. The first one came out really good. We're very proud of it, and I think this second one is going to be just as good, if not better. So we're very excited about it, and we have a lot of, especially of course Don has a lot of great ideas. I co-wrote a little bit. Again, like I said, for the first one, I did maybe 5%. I definitely did more writing for this one than last time, but it's still Don's brainchild, still his baby, still his vision. So the credit goes to him. And, he's got some really cool ideas. And there's going to be a lot of great Long Island talent, mostly from the comedy scene, many guys that you've seen in here. So we have high hopes for it. And thanks, Don, for a great night. So, busy week for me. Like I said, Knockem Dead tonight. We're performing at a private function, and we had to do a custom show. So, I wrote something specifically for this event. So I've just been busy. So this weekend, I am looking forward to, I think I have a light weekend, which, I just might crash. I have not been sleeping much this week. Speaking of the weekend, don't forget our pal Trish over there at EJ's PJs. The National Pajama Day, Sunday, April 6th from 12 to 4 at Hummus Fit Lake Grove. Purchase Buffin Muffins during the event. Wear your pajamas when purchasing in-store at our Lake Grove location. All the proceeds, from 12 to 4, 100% of the proceeds from all Buffin Muffins purchases will be donated to EJ's PJs to support their mission. So, don't forget that. And I'm sure Trish will be back here on Monday. Keegan having less fingers might do himself some good. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he has all his fingers. I figured he would have ate them. Great clips, Tony. Everyone looks great. Thank you, Ann. Thank you. Okay. So let's see. What do we got? What we got going on? So we talk about it a lot on the show. I always have a bunch of paper. I mean, look at this. There's got to be 50 sheets of paper here. And it's always filled with stuff that I want to talk about. But it's also, like if I have a particular guest coming in, it's usually one page, sometimes two, of just stuff on that particular person. So a lot of times the general stuff of just anything that I think might be interesting to talk about, it like that stuff just kind of builds up because either I put something together to ask the guest about him or herself, or we just, even when it's just me and one of the regular co-hosts, sometimes we just get into a conversation and we just go, and it becomes just a full conversation that wasn't planned, which is great. I'm not knocking it at all. That's what I love about this show, the fact that it's total free form and we can do whatever we want. I can have whoever I want in here. I can say whatever I want. I mean, granted, I'm not making any money, but I think I'd rather do it this way than go somewhere where I get paid a lot of money but be told what to say and do. You listen to FM radio today. I mean, these guys barely have a second to do anything free form. It's all scripted and planned and routine and it's the same 10 songs all day long, So in here we can do whatever we want. So once I heard this morning that the Bad Moms of Comedy couldn't make it in today, I was like, do I scramble now and try and find somebody to come in? And I was like, screw it. I'm just gonna grab these papers, and I'm just gonna kind of, thumb through them and see what we got. I haven't done the show by myself. It's been a while. Might be the first time this year, actually. It's definitely been, I want to say, at least 2 months. But I don't think maybe I did one by myself in January. But, so I got a ton of stuff. So let's see what we got going on. There's definitely a lot of just random stuff. Don't forget today at 1 o'clock, Peter Schwartz, Sports Bash. Should be a good show today. Stump the Wiz, of course, like he does every Thursday. And Peter's guest is the CEO of the Ronald McDonald House, which, you run the Ronald McDonald House, you got to be a good person. But he's going to be talking to Peter, discussing a new partnership with the New York Islanders. So, tune in and see what that's about. What happened to the fire hydrant, says Romeo. Romeo, I've just been out of the habit. I've just forgotten it so much that I'm out of the habit of filling it up and bringing it in. So it's practically every morning I'm just like, oh, shit. And either I stop and buy one, or I run back in the house and I just don't have time to fill the fire hydrant up. And I have, I think, 2 of these in the refrigerator. So I just grab one and run out. But with the warm weather coming, I will get back into the habit of the fire hydrant because, I mean, during the summer months, I go through that fire hydrant like 2.5 times a day, and that thing is huge. Like this, I go through, I think, 3 of these a day. That's all I drink is water. I hate soda. I don't drink alcohol. Yeah, it's the only thing I drink. Okay. I appreciate all the comments today because doing the show by myself it's hard and it's not always fun. So it's nice to hang out with you guys. All right, let's see. We do normally do Music Thursdays, so I'll do some music stories here. R&B and disco legend Chaka Khan. Let me rock you, Chaka Khan. She has announced that she's going to be holding open auditions to find a new guitar player to join her band. How wild is that? Open auditions. Usually somebody of Chaka Khan's stature, just make a couple of phone calls. Hey, reaching out. She must know tons of session guys. Hey, what are you doing? I'm going on the road. You want to play guitar? Okay. Before But before you get to work on your submission tape, there are some key criteria you should probably be aware of. According to her official website, Shaka Khan, a.k.a. Yvette Marie Stevens. Oh, I didn't know that. Shaka Khan's real name is Yvette Marie Stevens. Wow. Shaka Khan is on the hunt for a second guitar player. Apparently she posted a video somewhere. Shaka Khan here with an exciting opportunity. I'm searching for a powerhouse guitarist to hit the road with me. This is the real deal, a paying gig, and I need someone who can bring the heat, the passion, and the groove to my stage. Someone who lives and breathes rock, funk, and soul. Someone who has the fire to groove, shred, and shine. But if you're sitting there thinking, hey, I got the fire, I got the funk, don't jump out of your seat just yet. Hold on. There's more. The list of requirements. There is a list of requirements. In the video she posted, the singer adds, I'm in the search of a badass rock guitar player. If you're youngish, cutish, and play that axe, you're for me. Sounds more like Shaka Khan as a cougar looking, like how youngish, Shaka? You shocked me, Shaka. Your chakra is not good. That youngish part is a little weird. But yeah, maybe she's got to be. How old is Shaka Khan? She's got to be around 70. She's been around a long time. Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. She's 72. Oh, her birthday just passed, March 23rd. She is 72 years old. Yeah. Sounds like she's looking for a date, but if you're youngish and cutish, and you can play-ish that guitar-ish, you just might be Shaka-ish. So there you go. And then, like I said, I had a few music items. So yesterday, me and that guy who quit the show, I had asked him about his Bruce Springsteen knowledge, because he claims to be a big Bruce guy, and he didn't know what I was talking about. Bruce Springsteen posted there was a post on his site and his social media, just the sentence, what was lost has now been found. And Mike didn't know what that meant. Well, I've said it many times on this show, I do think people watch this show, and then they either copy our ideas, or they just talk about something that we've talked about. So sure enough, I asked Mike what that statement meant, and he said he didn't know. He goes, but obviously it's a little teaser to promote something. Something's coming. And then we agreed that it's probably some unreleased studio recordings. Well, bam! This morning, Bruce Springsteen has announced a box set called, I think, The Lost Tapes or something like that. It's 7. And then I actually said, Bruce Springsteen, I mentioned Springsteen, I mentioned Van Halen, McCartney, Stevie Wonder, and Bob Dylan. They're all known to have endless stuff in their vaults. And sure enough, yeah, Bruce Springsteen is putting out an album, a box set of stuff that he's made from 1983 to 2015. And it's 7 albums worth of material, which to me is just insane, because the guy's been active all these years, putting out several albums, many albums since 83, from 83 to 2015. This guy has been putting out albums regularly and still made 7 albums that he never put out. I think, like an artist or not, but if they have that much material, I'm sure you might say, well, maybe some of it should have stayed unreleased. And there's plenty of stuff that all geniuses have put out that they have released that you're like, that wasn't that great. But they still, maybe even if a lot of people say, I like the early stuff of a particular artist. Even if a particular artist may not be as good as they once were, there's still, though, moments of genius. There's a moment of genius, at least one moment of genius in every single Paul McCartney album. And you might be laughing at me because Paul McCartney has put out a lot of music through the years. But I'm telling you, at least one moment of genius in every album. And I will say the same about Springsteen. I will say the same about Eric Clapton. Yeah, and I will say that about Van Halen, of course. So, whether you like an artist or not, I do think it's commendable and just impressive how these guys have that much music around. And in Springsteen's case, 7 finished albums. So he's releasing that in June. But now here's my issue. Here's my issue with this. I got all excited when I heard about it. I'm a big fan of Bruce, and I do love most of Bruce's stuff. I will admit there's some crap in Bruce's catalog. But I do like a lot of his later stuff, so I'm very curious to hear this stuff. But then, I go on the internet and I'm looking it up, trying to find whatever information I can find about it. 7 CD box set, $300 for 7 albums. That's a bit much. So, of course, that I did not click the pre-order button. Usually someone puts out an album. If it's, one disc, one CD, you're talking anywhere from $10 to $15. So 7 albums, and none of them are double albums or anything. They're all just would be one CD each. $15, 15 times 7, that's what, $100? 15 times 7, 35. Yeah, 105. To me, that would be. Then I would say, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. 7 albums, $15. Yeah, all right, that's fine. And I would spend that. Well, I got to see what's going on, or I'd probably go to my wife and say my birthday's coming up. But $300. I mean, that's more than double each album. So yeah, I kind of got a problem with that. Let's see, the phone's ringing. Hello, Mr. Skelsey, sir.
Good morning, my brother from another mother. $300? Is he serious?
$300 for 7 CDs.
When you have a whole ton of FU money, when is enough enough?
Yes, absolutely right. And they're like, well, it comes with a 100-page book. Like, well, you know what?
Ooh.
Exactly. Keep the book, and just put out the CDs. And I'll buy. I will buy every CD, but not for $300.
Yeah, that's insane.
So maybe if they release them separately, maybe I'll buy them separately, or for $300, if they just put it out as a 7 CD set, well, you know what? That just forces me to go to the illegal sites and just download it for free.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Wait till somebody doesn't like them and they put them up on eBay or OfferUp.
Well, Well, I got something even worse. And talking about a guy who just doesn't need the money, Gene Simmons.
Oh yes, I saw. I know where you're going. Go ahead.
Okay, so Gene Simmons, who is in the midst of a solo tour. Kiss actually is doing some dates. I read somewhere that they did their farewell concerts last year, but sure enough, they've already announced some other dates. But Gene Simmons is currently I think I read something. He may have postponed some of his dates. But either way, he's working on a solo tour, and he's put together this thing called the Ultimate Gene Simmons Experience. This allows fans to meet Gene Simmons and his band and assist him with load-in at the venue, setting up the stage, listening to sound check, and spending time backstage. The roadie will also be able to have a meal with Simmons, and will even be introduced to the crowd at the gig. If you would like to participate in the Ultimate Gene Simmons Experience, and you happen to have an extra $12,500 laying around, plus the original ticket price that to pay to get into the concert, you'll be able to participate in this Ultimate Gene Simmons Experience, which also includes a bass guitar that Kiss has previously used. And this is available at one person per venue. So, yeah, I mean, you got an extra $12,000 laying around, screw it. Spend the day with Gene. Or you can.
So we could.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we could have one less roadie to pay.
Exactly. One less roadie to pay, and he's making, $12,000.
Yeah.
On top of getting paid for the gig. And again, this is a guy that has, lunch boxes and pinball machines, video games, movies, action figures, pay-per-view concerts. I mean, this is it. Nobody has bastardized their name more than Kiss.
Yeah.
Color forms, comic books, coloring books. I mean, it's just nonstop with these guys. And the fact now that he's, charging $12,000. I mean, I understand it's a cool experience. It's something cool to do, but for
it would be better
$12,000,
though.
Yeah.
If he was saying that money was going towards like wounded warriors or something like that, or first responders, or for people that lost shit in California or the Carolinas with their natural disasters.
Exactly.
No,
that's
it's for his pocket.
That's exactly it. See, that's the thing. He's doing nothing different in his day. It's not like
childhood cancer research.
Yes.
I mean,
and it's not like he's doing something different in his day. If he was taking the time out to drive, or to go to a particular fan's town and spend the day at their house or something, then I could see getting paid for his time. But these are the things he has to do anyway. And first off, if you're loading in at the venue, setting up the stage, like Gene Simmons isn't even there for that. Gene Simmons isn't carrying his own amps into the venue.
No.
So then and it's interesting. Load in, setting up the stage, listening to sound check. So you're sitting in a seat listening, and then spend time backstage. It doesn't say spend time with Gene backstage.
Right.
Then it says the roadie will also be able to have a meal with Gene and be introduced to the crowd. So that's really your only guarantee. You get to have a meal with Gene. So that could be anywhere from 5 minutes to maybe an hour.
That'll be a little finger sandwich, and you're out the door. Okay, kid, gotta go.
Right, and then you get introduced during the show. So everybody, okay, everybody, let's hear from my roadie of the day, Jeff Skelsey. You come out, you wave, you probably maybe shake hands with Gene, and then off you go again.
Yep.
So, and then you get one of Gene's old bass guitars. Okay, that's a cool gift, but still, for $12,000.
Yeah.
You know what? If anybody wants to spend, I'll leave it up to you. Anybody wants to spend $20 and up, you can come in here and spend 90 minutes with me and Jeff on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll take.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah,
sounds like a damn good idea.
Anybody wants to pay at least $20 to come in, and you can do the whole show, the whole 90 minutes with me and Jeff on any Monday.
Yep.
Fine. Go ahead. You want to pay $20? Me and Jeff split $10. You want to pay $100? That's $50 each for me and Jeff.
There you go.
And we'll give you. I'll give you a Knockem Dead comedy shirt, and you get your picture taken with me and Jeff, and maybe
in the legendary Governors Comedy Club.
Right. We'll show you the backstage area of Governors. It's an interesting place. So there you go.
I think we're onto something.
I think we should.
Anyway.
Now, all right. Before we. Do you have to go, or are you still good?
In a minute. I got another minute. I got to go meet a buddy of mine.
All right. Well, do you have any comments on what we talked about earlier with Mike Keegan and Mark Hirschman?
Oh, we'll save them. We'll save them for Monday. Like I said, I think he's a little jealous about the ripped one.
I think so.
I might be able to please more things that he can because he doesn't have that. Anyway, yeah.
Very good. All right, we will talk about that Monday.
And like I said, you don't have to read it off in the comments now because I'll tell you, it sounds like you're going to have a lot of hormones in that room tomorrow. So if you need extra testosterone, shoot me a message. Let me know.
How many people are in here at this point? I just might have some room. I just might. All right, let me find out if the bad moms are definitely coming. I will let you know.
All right, man. Like I said, I got no doctor's appointments tomorrow, so we're good.
Sounds good. Thanks, pal.
Okay, brother. Goodbye, everybody. I'll talk to you soon, Tom.
See you, brother. Bye.
Cheers.
All right, Jeff Skelsey checking in. That was cool. Let's see. Yeah, where are the comments? You must piss like a racehorse with all that water drinking. Yeah, pretty much. Carol Miner, good morning. Billy Joel is having a biopic coming out too. Yeah, did we mention that? Oh, you know what? We haven't mentioned that in here. We mentioned it on Peter's show, on Peter Schwartz's show last week. Peter being almost as big a Billy Joel fan as I am. I forget if it was Tuesday or Thursday last week. I think it was Tuesday, where he was in here doing a show, and he did not hear the news, so I surprised him on the air with that news. Yeah, Billy Joel, a documentary about his life, coming to, I think it's HBO this summer. I think sometime in June, if I'm not mistaken. They said it's a two-parter, but I don't know if I don't know how many hours each show is. So I don't know if it's 2 hours or 2 3 hours. One is 2 hours, one is 3 hours. I remember when the Beatles put out that Get Back documentary a few years, what was that, 3 or 4 years ago? They said I think they said it was going to be 6 hours. It turned out to be 8, which was fine with me. I had no issue with that whatsoever. And they're saying even for the biggest Billy Joel fans, this documentary will be a revelation. If you think you know Billy Joel, well, this will be a revelation. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what this is, and I hope to be wrong, but I don't have high hopes. I do know. I am hoping it's going to be honest. Like, it was a big deal. Billy Joel had the same backing band for a long time, back in the 70s, mid to late 70s. Until the late 80s. He had the same band, and then he dismantled it. His drummer of 30 years, Liberty DeVito, was then eventually fired, I don't want to say about 20 years ago. So I would love to see what they have. I hope they cover that. I'd love to see both sides of that story. Liberty DeVito's been very vocal about it. In fact, there was another documentary called Hired Gun, where they talk to session guys that aren't full members of a band. They just back somebody else. And Liberty DeVito's in that movie, and he's got a lot to say about Billy Joel in that movie. But they have him and Liberty and Billy have made up since. So I'm curious, and Billy really hasn't said much through the years about that topic. So I hope they cover something like that. Liberty DeVito and I actually did speak about it. We had a quick conversation about the documentary about a little over a year ago, and he said it too. He said, "Wait till you see this." So who knows? The drummer that Billy had before Liberty DeVito, I know he's in it too. Reese Clark, who's been on, he's done some stuff in here with me. Like I said, Billy Joel's backing band, like they were the guys that backed him on like almost all the big hits. And that's why I think these guys were kind of special to Billy Joel's fans, because these guys are on just about all the big hits. But there was a band prior to these guys that were backing Billy, and they played on some hits. Piano Man, for example. They were with him for a few years as he was starting out, and these guys have been in here. Larry Russell, Reese Clark, Don Evans. They've done some work with David Clark. They've worked with Elio. And I know Reese Clark is in this documentary. So hopefully those guys finally get a little time, because I think even some of the biggest Billy Joel fans don't even know who those guys are. Those guys, they kind of were with Billy as he was coming up, and then they all one by one disappeared from it, just as Billy hit it big. So so I hope those guys, because those guys, for me, I'm a little biased. They're friends of mine, so I do hope they finally get some time in the spotlight and get recognized for, starting the guy out. So thank you, Carol, for the reminder that we should talk about that. Okay, so everybody's just saying hi and catching up. Scott is offering $50 to sit on my lap. If you made that offer to Gene Simmons, he'd probably say yes. All right, hang on. I was about to say no, that I won't take $50 for that. However, how long are you sitting on my lap? Is it just plop, then you're back up? If it's anything other than that, no. But I'll take 50 if you just do a quick plop. And you know what? For the same 50, you do it to Skelsey too. And then me and Jeff get 25 each. Oh, all right. Jeff is leaving. Bye, Jeff. Scott, $12,000 for Gene Simmons. Does that come with a free complimentary face painting and a kiss? It should. Still not worth it. And again, like Jeff was saying, how much money do these guys, what do these guys do with their money that they have to do these types of things? That's what I'd like to know. I mean, I'm sure Gene Simmons has this big, lavish house with all sorts of property, but I would think it's all paid off by now. But who knows? Yeah, but that's what I mean. I would love to hear what these guys do with their money. What type of crazy shit do they do with their money that they need to do stuff like? And people will do it. I guarantee every single one of his tour dates will have somebody who pays that. Every single one. I don't know how many tour dates we're talking, so I don't know what that money adds up to. But yeah, I guarantee that happens. So that's that. Yeah, and the Springsteen thing too. That bothers me. All the talk this week about Val Kilmer passing. We didn't mention Richard Chamberlain. You guys remember Richard Chamberlain? Shogun, and what was the other one he did? I forget. There was another big miniseries he did, but he was around for a long time. He died last Saturday following complications of a stroke. He was 2 days shy of his 91st birthday. I think he was one of her favorites, but then he turned out to be gay. So that's what my mother did to him. Let's see. All right, so I did that. What do we got? Oh, we got a little less than a half hour still to go. All right. Oh, all right. So Val Kilmer died. Richard Chamberlain passed. So I have this list. Like I said earlier, I have so many papers here of stuff that I thought it might be interesting to talk about on this show. But these things build up. Because, I've been so fortunate to have guys like you and all the cool guests that come in that we just end up talking about other things. And so all this information builds up, which is fine because it gives me days like today, gives me stuff to talk about. However, so with the passing of Val Kilmer, the passing of Richard Chamberlain, I'm going through my papers, and I find a heading that says, Nightmare Ways Celebrities Have Died. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't remember putting this in here. So I have no idea what I'm about to read to you. I have no idea how long it's been sitting here. But that's how long some of the stuff has been sitting here. So let's see. Actor Anton Yelchin. I don't even know who that is. Horrifically, on June 18th, 2016, the 27-year-old Yelchin left his Jeep Cherokee parked on an incline and went to check his mailbox. The Jeep rolled down the incline, trapping him against a pillar and security gate. He died from blunt traumatic asphyxia. The model Jeep Yelchin owned was in the process of being recalled at the time of his death due to a confusing gear selector design that made it easy to confuse neutral with park. His family sued Fiat Chrysler and later reached an out-of-court settlement. Goodness gracious. On September 14th, 1927, Isadora Duncan, a dancer, her life ended in a freak accident that no one could have imagined. Duncan, known for her love of long, flowing scarves, was preparing to go for a drive in a convertible. As she excitedly waved goodbye to friends, she threw a scarf around her neck, a decision that would prove fatal. As the car sped off, her scarf got caught in the rear wheel axle, yanking her violently from the vehicle. She was dragged and instantly strangled, dying in a matter of seconds, as her friends were watching. How crazy is that? All right, let's see who's calling. Hello, you're on the air. Who's this?
Well, I'm getting all my estimates done now.
Hello.
Hello.
Mr. Tiffenworth?
Excuse me?
Are you Mr. Tiffenworth?
I am not. What number are you calling?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a wrong number.
What number are you calling?
516-520-2932.
Oh, boy, you're not even close.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Riveting stuff. Okay. All right. I got more. Assuming you want to hear them. Richard Chamberlain played Dr. Kildare. Right. But what was the other miniseries? He did, the Thornbirds. Shogun and the Thornbirds. Those were his two big miniseries in the 80s. Yeah. What a crazy way to die, right? Throw a scarf around your neck, catches the wheel, drags you, chokes you, you die, and everybody as you're waving goodbye to your friends. So everybody's just, bye, Isadora, see you next time. Whoops. All right, let's see what's next. November 29th, 1923. Actress Martha Mansfield was filming The Warrens of Virginia in San Antonio, Texas. Why didn't they just film it? All right. She was still in costume during a break, wearing a long, elaborate, hoop-skirted gown when she sat in a car to relax. Of course, almost everyone smoked back then, and when a crew member lit up and tossed a match, it accidentally ended up in the car, where in seconds the highly flammable fabric of Mansfield's costume turned into a fireball. Her co-star, Wilfred Lytell, desperately tried to save her, throwing his coat over her to smother the flames. But the damage was done. She suffered horrific burns all over her body. Mansfield was rushed to the hospital but died the next day. She was just 24 years old. Whoa. Oh, can you imagine? I'm not afraid of dying. But I'm afraid of how I'm going to die. Like, I don't want a long, drawn-out sickness, and I don't want. I'd rather. Of course, I think we all want to die in our sleep, but I just hope whatever it is, it's just sudden and quick. Like, can you imagine sitting in being the pain and the horror of being on fire? Like your last few moments are just horrific like that. I prefer a gunshot to the head because it's instant. Hopefully I don't even see it coming. And believe me, there are plenty of people out there that want to do it. So when you do it, make sure I'm not looking. Can you do me that favor? Actor David Niven. You guys remember David Niven? Actor David Niven's wife, Primi Rollo. What? Why? Her name was Primi Rollo. Primi and Niven were attending a party at actor Tyrone Power's house when the guests decided to play sardines, a variation of hide and seek. Wow, you think they were drinking and doing other things? Looking for a place to hide in the dimly lit house, Primi stepped into what she thought was a closet, but it was actually an open trapdoor leading to a stone staircase. Primi fell down the stairs and suffered a severe skull fracture. Despite being rushed to the hospital, she died the next day at just 28 years old. Had no idea that happened to David Niven and his wife. Wow. All right, and the last one I have. Actor Jack Cassidy. Remember Jack Cassidy, father of David Cassidy, married to Shirley Jones from the Partridge Family? After a heavy night of drinking in his West Hollywood apartment, Cassidy passed out on his couch with a lit cigarette in his hand. A fire soon erupted, and by the time the firefighters arrived, it was too late. Cassidy's body was found burned beyond recognition, and dental records needed to be used to identify him. That's fine with me, too. Let me be so drunk that I don't even feel that, and then I'm dead. So he passed out from drinking, cigarette burns him up, and he's gone. So, yeah, the guy had no idea. That's the way to do it. So if I find out I'm dying, I'll probably do something like that. And I think if I hit 90, I'm probably just going to start smoking, drinking, doing heroin. Because, at that point, why not? And if I OD, I OD. I mean, I'm in my 90s. I had a good run. It's over. Why not? Your time is super limited when you're that old. So why not just, do some crazy shit? That's what I say. Mickey says he wants to die having sex. Yeah, but, you don't want to die just after one time. Let's see. All right, what else we got here? Oh, all right. No, I'm going to save that one. All right, let me cross that out so I don't forget that I read that, because I will forget. Okay. All right, here's something that I've talked about a few times. You guys know that I'm all about jobs, and I'm all in favor of labor, and I don't like machines and technology and corporate greed. And one thing that really kicks my ass are these kiosks and AI. It sure looks to me like AI. Pretty soon, you go to any like a drive-in, or a drive-through restaurant, or probably any restaurant at some point, where it's just going to be AI taking your order, which pisses me off. But these kiosks kick my ass. The only time I use them is when I go to CVS. I don't know about you guys, but here where I am, there's like CVSs are almost like 7-Elevens and McDonald's. They're like every 5 feet is a CVS. So I hate the kiosks, and they do it on purpose. I mean, they don't even have a cashier standing there. So you're forced to use the kiosk. But there's always a problem. There's always an issue. And if you're buying something that requires ID, then somebody has to come over and check. So it's actually slowing things up. But, and I do hate them. When I go to a supermarket, the lines are always super long. I don't know why people prefer a kiosk over a cashier. I don't understand that at all. The lines are always like super long, and then fine. I mean, they do give you less cashiers because they're pricks, but still, it's in my opinion still better. These people getting paid. I don't feel like doing their job of swiping my products through and then bagging them. I mean, most of us bag our own stuff now, but believe it or not, the Stop and Shop that I go to in Hicksville, they still have 1 or 2 people bagging, which I think is kind of cool. The girl was bagging my stuff just a couple weeks ago, and I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that she's some sort of special needs. So that makes it even better. Give the special needs community. These guys are always looking for jobs, and that's a big thorn in my side. These guys are always looking for jobs. So I was thrilled that she was there begging. I gave her, I think, $2 or $3 tip. And I talked to her for a minute. Like, we had a nice conversation, so it's nice. I hate these kiosks. Give the people jobs. I don't want to hear this bullshit that, the price of eggs is too expensive, and, so the CEO's making, probably $100,000 less on top of his millions. I can't stand it. People get so mad. Oh, it's bullshit that minimum wage is $15 an hour. That's if you do the math. Back when I was a kid, minimum wage was $5. I mean, I don't know what people expect. Do they think it should still be $5 all these years later? Back then a house was $100,000. Now they're going for $800,000. So why shouldn't minimum wage be $15 an hour? And you try making $15 an hour. See how much that gets you. Let these people make at least a minimum wage. Give them jobs. These damn kiosks suck. So according to HuffPost, a 2021 poll showed that 67% of customers have experienced failures when using a self-checkout. However, another poll revealed 85% of customers believe that they are typically faster, but they're not, according to HuffPost. Self-checkouts have become the norm at most major grocery store chains, but also at CVS, Target, Walmart, and the ilk. Walmart, as you guys have heard me say I don't even walk into Walmarts. I think they're disgusting. They're a disgusting company, and they should be gone. And Target's not too far behind. But Walmart, you will never see me in a Walmart. I just refuse. But the truth is, both customers and cashiers dislike the self-checkouts. There are tech difficulties. It takes people longer to check out. People might miss scanning an item, or items are rung up incorrectly. Yeah, that too. You hear about that a lot. People they won't even scan an item or two. They'll just throw it in the bag. So yeah, nice job there, CVS. You're probably losing money. I heard recently, and I won't say how I heard this. Home Depot actually has, they have $5 million in their budget to make up for stolen items. Or you can just hire 4 more cashiers. And you'd probably still, and that won't cost you $5 million. It won't even cost you $1 million. Basically, self-checkout has become a failed experiment, according to The Atlantic. They need store employees to help clear kiosk errors or check their identifications for age-restricted items. Stores still need to have workers on hand to help them and to service the machines. The technology is, in some cases, more trouble than it's worth. A study showed that theft increased 65% at self-checkouts as opposed to a regular cashier. Less employees, more kiosks, more for the customer to do. Another issue is the lack of space self-checkouts have. The customer has a small area to scan and bag items, whereas cashier lanes offer the long conveyor belt. I rest my case. Damn it. You listening, CVS? You listening, King Cullen? Total agree, Tony, says John. Thank you. Tom Kelly is checking in. Hello, Tom Kelly. Just a quick hello from the elliptical. Everybody, please check out the Tom Kelly Show. You see him every day. He's in the opening credits to this show. The Tom Kelly Show on YouTube. He's got shorts on Instagram. He's got the regular podcasts on YouTube. Very funny comedian. He's a regular here at Governor's. He's, he comes on the show regularly. You saw him, a month ago, where he was fighting with Fremder. Just a great guy all around. A former neighbor of mine. So check out his show. It should be on Govs, but he does it cheaply from his house. So go check him out. A great dude. Frank Walker. Anton Yelchin was Chekhov in the Star Trek reboot movies. That was the deaths? Oh, that's the 27-year-old who died in the Jeep. Oh, okay. Thanks for that info. Kenny Friedberg, he hates the self-checkout. Always needs assistance from an employee anyway. Home Depot is all self-service. Can never find anyone to help in the aisles. Hate it. I'm going to disagree. I go to the Levittown Home Depot, and there's always at least a few cashiers. I mean, they do have the kiosks too, but I always get a cashier at Home Depot, and I've never had a problem getting help in the aisles. Actually, yeah, not once. I've never had Home Depot, I don't have bad experiences there. Do you guys? Supermarket, CVS is the worst. I mean, they don't even have anybody at the counter. A big voice comes out of the kiosk. Help is on the way, and then all of a sudden somebody shows up. But you don't even have the option of a cashier there. Unless they're helping somebody already, and you're like, oh, good. And you just get online. But, I've never had that problem at Home Depot, Kenny. John Rusiello, speaking of Fremder, he's a no-show today. Oh, that's right. See, I get scared when he's not around. It worries me. And we have Rite Aid stores here in California. One Rite Aid in Bakersfield has everything locked up behind glass, and you have to take an employee with you to get your items out of the glass. Everything? I mean, I know CVS does that, certain medications and stuff. But everything? Wow, I've never heard of that. I think There's still 1 or 2 Rite Aids that I know of on the island here. But, yeah, there have been – CVS has been slowly buying them out. All right. So thank you for letting me get that off my chest. And I'm glad you guys – you know what? I might make that a Facebook post on my page, my personal page, because I hate those kiosks. And I'm all about jobs and labor and benefits, pensions. Ann says, she noticed No Fremder too. And yeah, she says, yes, everything is behind a glass. That's very odd to me. I've never heard of that. Okay. I'm going to hightail it out of here. Peter Schwartz coming up at 1 o'clock, so stick around. And then that's it for the day here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. I have a show to do tonight, so I wasn't able to do Recipe for Laughter with Felix and Bonnie, or wasn't able to do Nick Graystone's Primal Scream. Next Thursday is the stand-up sit-down show with Richie Byrne that I'm attending. So the following week, April 17th, Nick Greystone will be here. Oh, I take that back. Next week on Wednesday, you got Circling the Drain at 7 o'clock. Nick Greystone is doing a special Wednesday at 9 episode with Primal Scream that I'll be here for. So, yeah, so that's what's happening. And then Felix is doing his show on Thursday, April 24th. That's when he'll be back. So in the meantime, Peter Schwartz at 1 o'clock, and then that's it for the day for us. Coffee with the Dog tomorrow at 11. Tomorrow at 9. I'm on at 11 with Rosie and Scott Baker, possibly the Bad Moms of Comedy, and possibly Jeff Skelsey too, and possibly a special 2-hour show. And then Don, I believe Don is on tomorrow with Donversations, I think. I'm not sure. And that's that. So keep on hanging out at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Share the link. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here. And, of course, don't forget the club. Great effort holding the podcast by yourself, Tony. Not easy. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. Scott, one of these days you got to tell me who you are. And, yeah, don't forget the club. Joe Dombrowski, Jimmy Dore, Heather Shaw, Howard Moore, the Bad Moms of Comedy, Christina Mariani, Kevin McMahon, Kevin Dombrowski, Daniel Simonson, just some of the names you'll see on a governor's stage this weekend. Go to govs.com, make your reservations, some great comedy shows. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to make your reservation to see us. Check out our schedule, find out what we got going on, as well as getting info on hiring us for your event, whether it's a fundraiser, corporate event, private event, personal event, whatever you got going on. All right, Peter Schwartz in a half hour. Thanks for hanging with me today. This went much better than I expected, and that's because of you guys with your comments and keeping me